Hello friends, my name's Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 2. We are continuing on with our Let's Play today. This is episode 6. So in the last episode we won the mid-engined rear drive challenge and I said I was going to do a bit of off-screen grinding. As you can probably tell by my credits, I did indeed go and do some off-screen grinding. Essentially what I did is I won the last race, which was at Red Rock Valley. And each time you win that race, you get a GT40 race car, which is worth 250,000 credits, which is an awful lot. So you can essentially just keep winning that race over and over again and selling these things. I actually ended up using the GT40 to grind that race, because if you stick this thing on super softs, it is absolutely incredible. So yeah, that's sort of what I've done to get all of my money. As you can see, I've also won the RX-7 GTC back, just because we used it in an episode. I'd kind of like to keep most of the cars I'm using in these episodes in the garage for now. Anyways, so today's challenge is going to be the four-wheel drive races, which we can get to through special events. And there you go, four-wheel drive challenge. It's actually our last event on lineup 1. After this episode, we'll be moving up to lineup 2, which has some more interesting races, as you can see. So for this race we need a four-wheel drive car, and I know exactly where to go for a four-wheel drive car. We are going to be heading over to the East City. I'm going to be heading to Mitsubishi, and we are going to be picking up a brand new 3000 GT. There's many different 3000 GTs. We are of course going to go for the VR4 Turbo because that's the best one. We shall get it in Timber Green Pearl, I think, and I will buy that, yes I will. So I've spoken about it before, the 3000 GT is my favourite of the JDM vehicles. I just really like this car. Let's just quickly go and check what the race mod is for this car, because I might end up race modding it, considering I have a lot of money. Ooh, I like that race mod a lot. I think we might be race modding this car. Yeah, let's do that. We haven't actually race modded a car yet, so we may as well go ahead and do that in this episode, considering I have quite a lot of money. It is going to waste a little bit of it, but then again I can just go ahead and grind that race again, because I've got the GT40 to do it. Just stick it on super softs and I will win that race pretty much every single time. I will absolutely blow out the field, so yeah. Anyways, I kind of like the white and green, but the green and white, I actually have a story about this livery, I'll get into it as the episode goes on. So I'm going to go for the green and white. There we go. We're down to 663,000 credits. But the good news is I don't think I'll need to do any more upgrades to this vehicle for now. We'll have to see sort of what the horsepower limits and stuff are on these races. 345, 394, 690 at Laguna Seca. I might do some upgrading before the Laguna Seca race, but other than that, we're looking fairly fine. I'm not quite sure what's going to show up to the Laguna Seca race, so I think just to be safe, I'll probably stick the big turbo on this vehicle. Anyways, our first race is at the Seattle Short Circuit, so let's get into this. Okay, so here we are at Seattle Short, and we have a Audi A3. I'm assuming it's not an S4. Oh, sorry, it's an Audi S3. Oh my god, the speed. The Subaru SVX is in this race as well, Mazda 323F, and a couple of Evo 1s, which apparently I am quicker than all of them because of course I am. This is a hugely quick vehicle. I'm not going to do it in this race, I'll probably do it in a second off camera. I've just realised I'm not driving with the analog sticks. I hate that. That's one of the things I've found out I really hate about playing this on PS3 is you constantly have to switch the analog sticks on. Whereas on PS2 you get a big like shiny red button where you can switch them on, and this apparently you have to like select input mode for whatever reason. Don't quite understand it myself, but there you go. Either way, what else I don't understand is the fact that Audi is being really aggressive with me, despite the fact that this is the first race. I should be blowing these guys out of the water with my vastly superior car. It handles really well though, I've got to be honest. This 3000 GT is fantastic to drive. A lot of times in real life you hear these things are actually quite heavy, and I mean the statistics do back this up. I can't remember how much this thing weighs. I think it's about 1500 kilos, which is an awful lot for sort of a sports car, but at the same time, now with the weight reduction on it, it should be relatively light. I'm not quite sure how much power those Audis rock. I was kind of tempted to go with like an Audi A3 or something, but I decided I'd go with a 3000 GT. just because this will probably be our last Japanese car for a little bit, just because I've used so many of these bloody things so far. But then again, like Gran Turismo, I'm pretty certain the car list on this game, it must be something like, sure it has 650 cars, but at least 400 of them must be Japanese. I would like to see what the split is between Japanese and the other cars, because of course no one else has any used cars. It's only Japan that has the used car showroom, unlike GT2, where it's basically every single sort of vehicle gets into the used car dealership, while on this game it's only specifically Japanese cars are the used cars. And I assume there's quite a lot of different used cars, because of course most of these vehicles are GT1 imports in the used market, mixed with a bunch of other stuff, granted. But anyways, we are going to take a relatively easy victory here at Seattle Short. The S3 came in second, Evo 2 in third, Evo 3 in fourth, Master 323 GTR, which is a fantastic car, in fifth, and the Subaru SVX goes into sixth. Pretty tight pack there. Didn't actually realise that one of those was a Evo 2 and one of them was an Evo 3. They both look exactly the bloody same to me. But there you go. Anyways, we've won 5 grand and we've unlocked a new car, so let's go and see what we've won. Okay, so let's head over to the garage and see what we have acquired. It's got to be 4-wheel drive, surely. It is a Legacy Wagon GT. Okay, I'll take a Subaru Legacy Wagon, certainly. I might actually have some use for this car later on in the Let's Play, so we'll keep it. Sure, I haven't really got much reason to get rid of it. I've got enough money to keep myself clicking over, so we'll keep that for now. Anyways, we go on to our next race, which is at the Seattle City course, the full one this time. Okay, so we are on the field, and we have a relatively tough pack ahead of us. We have a newish looking Subaru Impreza WRX, an Evo 6, I believe that is in front of us, or it could be an Evo 5, that both look exactly the bloody same, they just have slightly different lights. Oh, it is indeed an Evo 5. There's another Evo 5, an Evo 6, and a Celica GT4. Huh, I kind of forgot I could have used that car for this race as well. I really do like the Celica GT4, I absolutely adore them. If I could find a decent one in England, and if I could actually afford the insurance on them, I would kind of like a Celica GT4, because I think they're really cool cars, especially from this period. Yeah, I do like the Toyota Celicas. Not quite as cool as 3000 GTs, but they are still pretty damn cool. I do like them. When it comes to like Japanese cars, many people sort of disagree with my thoughts on them. I'm like not the sort of person that goes like, oh yeah, I really love like an R34 or an RX-7. Granted, I would like an R34, and I would very much like an RX-7 if anyone wants to give me one. Provided, of course, the rotary had been oiled up, because that is one of the issues you can indeed run into on those vehicles. If they weren't properly cared for, they could certainly get a little bit costly, engine replacement and all the rest of it. But yeah, I do like the 3000 GT more, just because, I don't know, it's something a little bit different. Like I said, granted, the R34, I would take an R34 if anyone wants to give me one of them. I would prefer an R33, to be honest with you, just because that's sort of my favourite model of Skyline personally. I've always preferred the R33, just because I've sort of felt it was a little bit overlooked, which is why I used it in the rear-wheel drive video. I was tempted to use an R34, but I went with the R33 because it was a bit cheaper, and not many people really use the R33 or care about the R33. Everyone's interested in the R34 and the R32, which, oh by the way, is a little amusing thing. I did just realise this as I was sort of editing together the last video. The description Gran Turismo gives for that Skyline R33 is just ridiculous. It's like, oh, I didn't know they could improve on them, but they made it so much better. It's like, I'm sorry, what? It's like, how do you improve on perfection? Don't get me wrong, I like the R32, many people do, but I wouldn't call it absolute perfection, or at least I assume not many people would. I mean, what is the perfect car at the end of the day? It's sort of personal preference, I guess. Even when it comes to driving vehicles, it's all personal preference and what you prefer. You know, I've never driven an R32 in real life. I can't. What's the quickest vehicle I've driven? What is the quickest vehicle I've actually driven in real life? I can assure you. Oh, I think it was a Ford Focus. 1.6 Ford Focus, yeah. It wasn't, well, actually, to be fair, that car was quite quick. 1.6 Z-Tech Focus, I think. Yeah, I drove that once or twice, I think, and it was a relatively alright car. Relatively quick for what it was, but then again, I mean, that's only 100 horsepower at best. Like, it doesn't have that much power. I believe it might have had 110, although don't quote me on that. Yeah, I haven't really driven many powerful vehicles. I don't think I've ever driven anything other than a front-wheel drive car as well, which is interesting enough, because in England you don't really get much more than front-wheel drive cars. The only real rear-wheel drive cars are Beamers, mostly. But anyway, in that race, I finished first, obviously. The Evo 4 finished in second. I didn't even know there was an Evo 4 in this race. Evo 5 in third, Impreza in fourth, Lancer Evo 6 in fifth, and the Sail GT4 came quite a long way back in sixth. Interestingly, all of the previous generations of Evo were apparently quicker than that car. Yeah, sure, GG Gran Turismo. In fact, GG Mitsubishi. Anyways, there we go, we get 6 grand in prize money, and of course we get a new car. Let's go and see what it is. Okay, let's head over to the garage and see what we have unlocked. I'm excited. What have we got? We have got a Nismo 400R preceding model. Sure. Wow, it's actually worth quite a bit of money, that. 20 grand, that ain't bad. So yeah, anyway, that's what we've won. Probably gonna sell it because don't really need it, to be honest with you. So we may as well just get rid of it. Any car I don't really need, I may as well just get rid of. Like, there's no real point of keeping it in my garage unless I can think like, oh, there's actually something I really want to do with it. Anyways, the next race has a 690 horsepower limit, so I think it's a good idea that we head over to the East City and we do a little bit of tinkering to our Mitsubishi. In order to hopefully win this next race first time round, because again, this is looking like one of those episodes where I win each race first time round, which is quite good. We're going to get super softs because it's Laguna Seca, and I'm a little bit scared of Laguna Seca. We are going to get the biggest turbo we can get. Oh wow, we can actually get stage 4 on this car. Let's get stage 4. I know it costs a ridiculous amount of money, but let's get the stage 4 turbo because it's insane. Oh, actually, yeah, let's do the intercooler while we're here as well, because that gets us up to 625 horsepower. Oh, this car's going to be an absolute monster. Yeah, we haven't really had a monster on this series yet, so let's build ourselves a proper monster. 676, what was the horsepower limit? 690, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, we'll have the racing muffler as well, because why not? I think, unless... Should I sneak a computer in as well? Let's sneak a cheeky computer in as well. We're just going absolute balls to the wall with this car. 690 horsepower. Hopefully, I can still get in the race with a 690 horsepower car, 690 horsepower limit. Please let me into the event. Please let me into the event. Please let me into the event. No, bollocks, no. Okay, I apologise. I clicked the wrong thing. Let's click the correct... Yeah, we can get into the race. Thank Christ. That's good. I was a little bit worried there. I was like, 690 horsepower, 690 horsepower limit, will I get into the race? The answer is yes. Okay, apparently there was really no need to upgrade our car. We've got a 22B, another Impreza thing, a Skyline R32, and a Evo 5, I believe that is, and there is also something at the front, and this does not feel like 690 horsepower, I've got to be honest. Oh my god, okay, the brakes aren't quite as good as maybe they should have been upgraded as well. What I can tell you is I'm definitely getting turbo lag now. We have got a ridiculous amount of turbo lag, and we've also got an R33 Skyline in front of us, which is not fun. Right, let's try and get around him. We have got that awesome blow-off valve noise though, which is just fantastic. The single greatest noise in racing game history, of course. Alright, understeer, 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 understeer. Yeah, there's a lot of that, which is fun. Yeah, okay, so I may have ruined, mind you, they're all going wide apparently. May have ruined the GTO a little bit. It's a little bit too powerful for its own good. And to be honest with you, like, this race really didn't need it apparently. I could have just walked in here with any old car and done pretty well. But, you know, either way, may as well, it's better to be prepared. It's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. I like to think, anyway. Oh, the brakes are not good on this thing. Just saying, this is partly my terrible driving, but it's mostly the fact the brakes are just now awful. Oh, I wish I upgraded the brakes. 131 round Laguna Seca isn't bad, although in Gran Turismo with a 690 horsepower race car, that is pretty appalling. Speaking of appalling, the Understeer, it just wants to push on. Like, I'm accelerating through these corners, and all I can feel is like the front end just wanting to push on. You know, I mean, mock the handling system for what you want, and I will, because it's very arcadey. The cars do actually give you like a decent amount of feedback on what they're doing, which is quite nice. I mean, most arcade games these days, Need for Speed 2015, do not give you feedback on your actual steering input and stuff. This game, giving it props, it does. I mean, I can feel the car's understeering, and I can definitely feel what it's doing through the corners, which is quite interesting. Like, you wouldn't really expect that from such an old game, but hey, it's doing it. That's not how you're supposed to take the corkscrew, but yeah. Also, please note, this is the only licensed track in Gran Turismo 2. So if you're expecting to see like Tsuba circuit or anything like that, nope, not happening. The only licensed circuit in this game is Laguna Seca, which is fine by me because I like Laguna Seca, but yeah, to be fair, the made up tracks are fantastic anyway, so that's one thing Gran Turismo has always done really well, is the fake fictional tracks. They're always fantastic. Anyways, the Skyline came in second, the 22B came in third, the Lancer Evo 5 came in fourth, the GTR V-Spec R32 came in fifth, and in last place was the Subaru by 7 seconds down apparently on my crazy GTO, which has way too many upgrades in it for its own good, but still whatever. Anyways, I win 15 grand for that event and we get a new car. Let us go and find out what it is. Okay, let's head over to the garage and see what we have won. Hopefully it's something decent. We have won a Mines R32.5 Skyline GTR. Yay, another Skyline with 618 horsepower apparently. Jeez, that's ridiculous. Either way, don't really need it, so I'm going to be selling it off again because I'd rather have the money. So there we go anyway, that was my 690 horsepower, the 3000 GT VR4 Turbo. Pretty insane car, it has to be said, and it does look fantastic with that racing modification. Anyways friends, thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.